Hello, welcome. This is Philippa Burgess, and I am your host for tonight. We have kind of different time zones because we've got part of our students are coming from where I am in the United States, and many are also in India and Bangladesh. So we've got a very international crowd. I was actually looking at all the countries that are represented in our community, and we're very global, which is amazing. And we're going to just kind of change it up. So I want to give everybody kind of a little bit of a rundown of sort of what's changing in our approach to this because all of this came together so fast and we're seeing a lot of this for the first time. And originally I was like, okay, there's 9 quests, so we'll do 9 study jams. And that seems like a great way to do it. And the idea in my original thought was, oh, when within a study jam, we can kind of solve a quest together. Then realized how much information was actually within each of the quests and just how much supporting material there is, how many things there are to set up, how many things there are to do. And I actually ended up kind of getting a bit tangled on the first one because I was seeing it for the first time. So rather than kind of going through it together, which is something we can do, we're going to kind of use our study jams to kind of introduce the quest, and we'll kind of play with it, but we're not necessarily committed at that moment to solving it. It's more at this point to sort of say, okay, take these resources, read further. There's additional um, videos, blogs, articles, take the time, go to these different platforms, get the things set up that you need to get set up so that we can kind of continue every time we meet to kind of continue moving it forward, but we're not going to have the same idea that we're going to like, hey, we're going to solve it in one go because there's too much and everybody's at different levels. So with that, what I want to do is kind of also just say that the study jams are definitely a place to build community. We love it when people can join us live because then we can sort of chat and introduce the community to each other. But we also understand that these are really long videos and not everybody is going to have the time to be here for the entire session, or if they're looking at it as a replay, it's a big commitment to come back for kind of an hour, hour and a half on these videos. So what we've also decided to do is we're going to do a lot more short content and sort of pop-ups in between to really break it down. And especially if you have questions to say, like some of the basic stuff. You may be entirely new to being a developer in a developer environment, and you may have those very basic questions, and we can answer them in sort of separate, shorter videos. So they're much more specific. So what I want to do now is actually going to go back to the platform that we've been using and sort of show some of the new features that we're adding there. So I'm going to just kind of like start with, we've set up a community within the Teachable platform. So you're sort of seeing my back end there. Actually, I may have not shared my screen. Let me come share my screen so you can see everything that I'm seeing. Okay. I'm going to share my whole screen so you can kind of follow me around. So there's the screen, and I'll actually make the whole screen the whole screen. And then I'm going to come over here to Teachable. So this is the community that we've added, and coming into the view of the community, this is a place that is for us. This is a great place to start to get to know each other, to introduce each other. So there's my posts. I'm in more of an admin view, but the idea is there's topics, replies, reads, drafts, all the activities, notification, set different preferences. So it's you can like things, bookmark things. So the idea here is that we can kind of create a discussion board so that there's a centralized place for our participants. Super excited. We actually have over 60 registered participants, and we've only really started announcing that we were doing this last weekend. So that is a great thing for us to kind of have together. And in one of my first posts, it's just please, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, because obviously that's going to be our central hub for delivering content. But wanted to sort of just announce that there is now a community forum within the Teachable platform. And we've also just added some additional information within the platform as well. So we'll go in and sort of preview that, because this is where we just, again, want to make sure that this is as easy to onboard, and that no matter where someone's coming at, if you are already an advanced developer and you're like, hey, this is just some new skills I want to learn and I can just fly through this, fantastic. If you're brand new to this, we can help you and get you where you need to be, or everything in between. So everybody is welcome at whatever skill level you have. So we feel like this, having this platform is just giving us more of an opportunity to just, kind of get everybody so that you're all kind of in sync and nobody's lost about what are we doing and what's happening. So the I've continued to sort of update this a bit. So if you've been through it, still have the overview, what you'll learn, onboarding, the 9 questions, our study jam schedules. But again, there's going to be more added to this, and most of those announcements will just be made on the YouTube channel. And of course, you're still welcome to invite friends. We'll be continuing to onboard. And that's why I love this platform, because it just makes it easy when anybody joins us. Got the get started, join our community, and the community again being new, and also added sort of just another reminder about communication. So this is a Build-a-Thon, kind of a hackathon. So there's going to be a lot of communication. We're not trying to spam anybody. We have nothing to sell. We just want to see you succeed and learn. I guess if we're selling anything, we're really just ambassadors for Microsoft products, because that's what we're going to do a deep dive into. But the only reason that we're emailing you is just to kind of make sure you have all the information for the JS AI Build-a-thon. And so we can email directly through this platform. So if we have very specific announcements, I have, so let's just talk about, so we've got the YouTube channel where you guys are now, which is awesome. And we'll be doing the live study jams, short form lessons, pop-up streams. So, be there, subscribe to stay in the loop on all of that. There may be some changes to the schedule. We kind of mapped it out as best we could. The reason that we're doing this time, which is evening for me, and morning in India, and then it flips, and we're going to be doing morning in the US and evening in India, is just, I always go looking at like what my availability was. But I even, so there may be just some changes coming up. I know for like the 18th, I may not be able to do it. So we just have to see where the other leads are. So we'll all sometimes be on our own, sometimes be working together. Just, again, it's just like trying to get all our schedules aligned, but we're all committed and we're all here. And that's why the platform's another great place, because they can also interact and answer questions there too. But my co-hosts, they will be back. Sayante's team was selected as an AI project finalist. So she's actually going to be presenting tomorrow, and we'll actually be live streaming that as well. Let me get some water. Sorry. So we talked about YouTube channel, which you are here. We talked about the community hub on Teachable. So that's that link to get to that. I am sending out Google Calendar invites for just the study jams. So like I said, there'll be more, and that's just going to be announced on YouTube. And then those replays can be embedded into the Teachable platform. But I do try to make sure everybody has the most current, accurate schedule for the study jams. So if you've gotten an invite, then that is confirmed. And then you can also just bookmark this Teachable platform so you can get here and get into that. I do have one more announcement, which is Teachable, when you sign up, asks like, do you want to receive marketing? And I totally understand why some people are like, no, I don't want to be sold anything. We, again, have nothing to sell here, but that is a default question. And so when you opt out of it, it means you receive no emails from the platform. So you won't get any kind of announcements or reminders or links. So when things are updated, the only kind of communication channels we have is going to be through the YouTube or the community hub or your calendar invites, which are plenty of communication channels. But if we feel like we're just not seeing kind of interaction with somebody, we might chase them up just to say, hey, because we want to just keep everybody motivated. So if you feel it's urgent or critical, you may get an email directly from our studentambassadors.com domain. So watch for those. And those will only go to the people who we cannot communicate with through the platform. So there's that. So that's, and then of course, they do invite you to sign up to the Azure AI Discord. So that's a Microsoft led channel, and you will be on the JSAI Build-a-Thon channel. My throat is very dry. So that kind of is some of the updates on that, and I'll just kind of keep going. So complete and next. I try to make these really short and really, so you can go directly. This is one of the GitHub links. This is in my GitHub repo. Or there's also the access to the main one, which is right here, GitHub Azure samples. So this is another new page I just added, introducing the 9 quests with the approach and your success. And this is like the major change. Talking to our advisors to sort of say, how do we do this properly? Because we, like I said, the first one, I was seeing it for the first time, and I'm like, whoa, there's a lot here. So we're going to just acknowledge that these are packed, and there's definitely things you're going to need to do in your own time, at your own pace, and that's going to match to the skills that you bring. And again, totally fine being wherever you're at. We want to just make it easy for everybody to accomplish these quests. And they go deep. There is a lot of additional supplemental information in addition to the overall task of the quest. And then even within the task, there's just so much to explore and to kind of get to know and to sort of try on and do things. So again, totally encourage you to do it during this time if you want, but also want to, again, encourage you to do that on your own and then come back to us with questions. So Okay, okay, so I'm back. There. I'm back. Here I am. Oh, and I just want to say I wore this specifically because this is my gold student ambassador hoodie. So that is something that I've gotten as I've been in the program and progressed. So we're going to just kind of do, again, because I just know there's so many new people here, we're going to look at the Microsoft Developer Community blog and what they wrote about Quest 1. Again, it's that build a local Gen AI prototype using this GitHub model. So there's all these different models like DeepSeek, Claude, GPT 4.5 preview, OpenAI GPT 4.0. So you can kind of pick a model. And so in this quest, you'll build a local Gen AI app prototype using JavaScript. You'll explore open source models via GitHub, test them in a visual playground, and use them in real code, all from the comfort of VS Code with the AI toolkit. It's fast, hands-on, and sets you up for real AI apps, starting with a sketch. So this is the information, and we'll go ahead and just play this video, which kind of, again, this is just a revisiting of Quest 1. Actually, I'm realizing I'm not, maybe not sharing my screen. Oh yeah, I have been sharing my screen. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, gonna just make that a full screen. And I'm gonna come back to this. Okay, here we are. So this is the blog that I've been just talking about. Quest to build a local Gen AI prototype. I want to build a local Gen AI prototype, and then what you'll build in this quest. So this is what we're gonna just take a look at. Okay, so we are done with that. Back to our studio. Okay, so all right, so we've taken a look at one. I think that, you know, I when I was doing it live, just kind of got a little disoriented with getting my GitHub and VS Code set up, and kind of that just took me a minute to. But I actually am in the process of finishing Quest 1. So, but I haven't heard from our community that they've finished Quest 1 yet. So I just want to make sure we're all sort of staying on Quest 1 for, you know, until we sort of start getting people saying, yes, we're done with that. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, though, is I do want to start looking at Quest 2, though. We're not, we have that now in our, so this is one of the kind of get started GitHubs. But that's not the one we need right now. Let's see. Okay, this is the Azure Foundry. So this is the one that let's get all of these ones. I have all of them open. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we are. This is the Build-a-Thon README. This is the one that I copied into my GitHub repo. And then I'll come into, okay, so this is the one I have. So this is Quest 1. What I want to do is reset. Okay, so wait about 15 seconds. Okay, there we go. We're back to the welcome step. Telling me that's not found. So this is where I kind of end up with just some basic issues. I'm just trying to get back to the part where I get to choose the next quest. All right, see, having a technical issue there. All right. See, this is one of the reasons why I was like, we're going to take this slowly and just make sure we're getting past these tech challenges. All right, here we go. Start course. Should be giving me the option to. I already have a repo. Go up to div date JSAI. Okay, let's start the course. Oh, okay, so it's sending me back to my own repo. Okay, so back to my repositories. Let's see if this is going to do what we want it to do. There we are. Welcome. How it works. There we go. This is what I wanted. Back to selecting a repo. Okay, so now we're waiting for that to populate. And then we should get the introduction to our second quest. Here we go. This is quest 2. I want to move my AI prototype to Azure. So we need GitHub account, VS Studio Code installed, Node.js installed, Azure subscription. Use the free trial if you don't have one, or Azure for Students if you are a student. So those are things we'll need to set up. And the assumption you've already completed the previous step in the project and have opened the model playground on GitHub Models. So again, back to these all kind of build on each other. So that's why it's important to kind of keep moving forward. And then GitHub Models to Azure AI Foundry. So here's those instructions. And then under the create personal token, personal access token, select production key, and sign in, select your subscription, and deploy your model. So here they're deploying GPT 4.0. And then there's the Azure Foundry Virtual Studio Code extension. And there's the option to use the playground. So again, this is all stuff that I'm going to encourage you to kind of go through and read on your own. And the activity is push the AI Foundry JS code to your repo. To complete this quest and automatically update your progress, you must push the code to the repository as described below. So there's the instructions. And that actually seems pretty straightforward. I'm going to say I definitely... And then we've got the further reading here. The Azure Foundry extension, work with Azure Foundry, Visual Studio Code, develop, build, and deploy LLM apps using GitHub Models and Azure AI Foundry. So this one is definitely feeling more, a little less overwhelming than I found step one. Step 1 to quest 1 was like, whoa, what's going on here? So I have to do this, and I'm encouraging you guys to do this. And then we're going to regroup and kind of go through it together. And again, they'll have more video content and blog content about Quest 2 coming out for us in the next day or so, since they just launched that one today. So that's where we're at for Quest 2. Again, seems pretty straightforward, but I'm going to take a moment to do it myself and invite you to do the same. And then we can sort of all kind of regroup together for this. So I'm going to go ahead and move that. I will come back to the screen. Hello. I don't know why my camera's decided it wants to be. Let's come here. Okay. I think the camera's fixed. Okay. So I think that's going to wrap this up. So kind of a shorter session tonight, just because I know the time's kind of midweek, and I don't. Oh, hey. All right, we're lost. Can you explain what you're doing? Okay, so Frank has questions. So Frank, welcome. I think you were in and out. I don't see you here now, but I'm going to just say what we're doing is just kind of walking through the quest, walking through the Teachable, and sort of showing the, just the general sort of structure of what we're doing through the hackathon or Build-a-Thon, and how I definitely encourage you to sort of spend time kind of going through these on your own and then reaching out for us when you're stuck or you have questions. And then as we're getting these things done, we can come back with you and sort of regroup on that together. So with that, I'm going to wrap us up for this evening. And the next time I come back, it's going to actually be morning for me, evening for our friends and colleagues in India. And just like I said, hopefully the forums that we've set up are able to work for you to, get you all started and get you moving forward. I'm just so excited to have you here, and our community keeps growing and building, which is just super cool. I'm just happy to be part of this and solve these quests with you. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you, everybody. And again, use our platform or comment below and just engage. And we're here so we can all get this done together. Thanks again, and see you soon.